Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Shaza Aminah and I'm going to talk about Islamic Financial Legal Framework. So, I choose to talk about Islamic financial system in Malaysia and Thailand. Before we go deeper, let's hear a bit regarding the financial system background for Malaysia and Thailand. So, for Malaysia, it is structured into two major categories which are financial institutions and financial market. The banking system consists of Bank Negara Malaysia, the Central Bank of Malaysia, which was established on 1959. Next are banking institutions like commercial banks, finance companies, merchant banks, and Islamic banks. Next is Thailand. The financial system comprises of Bank of Thailand, the Central Bank of Thailand, which was established on 1942, and there are banking institutions like commercial banks, industrial finance corporations of Thailand, Islamic windows like Bank of Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, and the Government Savings Bank. There are also Government Housing Bank, finance and securities companies, and insurance companies. Now, we'll move on to historical development of Islamic financial system. First is Malaysia. Islamic financial system in Malaysia began in 1969 when Lembaga Tabung Haji was established. After that, Malaysia decided to develop their first ever full-fledged Islamic bank under the enactment of Islamic Banking Act 1983. Under this act, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad BIMB was the first Islamic bank to be established in 1983. Next, in 1999, Bank Bumi Muamalat Malaysia Berhad BBMMB was established after the merging of Bank Bumi Putra Malaysia Berhad and Bank of Commerce Berhad. Next is the enactment of Takaful, which was under Takaful Act 1984. Only then, BNM regulated the operations of Takaful since 1988 with the practice of IFSA 2013. In 1994, there was the development of Islamic Money Market and Islamic Capital Market. Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange, or better known as KLSE, had introduced an Islamic Equity Benchmark Index in 1999. Later, in 2002, in order to have a better Islamic financial system, Malaysia adopted IFSB that could offer soundness and stability in the Islamic financial industry. Furthermore, it can be seen in 2006, Malaysia launched Malaysia International Islamic Financial Centre (MIFC) for International Islamic Financial Hub. In 2012, Islamic financial system in Malaysia introduced collateralized murabaha. The Parliament of Malaysia passed the enactment of IFSA and was commenced in 2013. Last but not least, for the development of Islamic financial system is in 2012, where MBSB was assumed full-fledged Islamic banking license from Asian Finance Bank. In the previous part, we have seen historical development of Islamic financial system in Malaysia. So now, let's move on to Islamic financial system in Thailand. Islamic finance in Thailand existed in 1987 where Patani Islamic Saving Cooperative was established under Sharia compliant. In 1998, there was the implementation of Islamic windows by Government Savings Bank and hold a similar concept by Bank of Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives in 1999. It can also be seen in 2001, Krung Thai Bank was the first bank to set up Islamic branch. At the end of 2001, there were an addition of 4 more Islamic saving cooperatives. The highlight of Islamic financial system in Thailand is the introduction of Islamic Bank of Thailand Act 2002, which led to the first full-fledged Islamic bank named Islamic Bank of Thailand in 2003. Moreover, in 2009, Stock Exchange of Thailand launched FTSE Sharia Index and FTSE Group. In 2011, Capital Market Supervisory Board allows the issuance of sukuk. Last but not least, in 2011, Muang Thai Life Insurance was established and offer various takaful products. This is the principles and standards used by Malaysia and Thailand in Islamic financial system. In regard to this system, Malaysia practices dual financial system under the Central Banking Act 2009, which are conventional financial system and Islamic financial system. For Thailand, they practices dual financial system also, which are conventional financial system and Islamic financial system. Islamic financial system is under Central Bank of Thailand Act BE 2485 and Islamic Bank of Thailand Act 2002. For legal, Malaysia has Islamic Banking Act 1983, Takaful Act 1984, and Government Funding Act 1983. For Thailand, they have Islamic Bank of Thailand Act 2002 and Life Insurance Act 2535. For Sharia governance structure, Malaysia has Sharia Advisor of Islamic Individual Banks and SAC, which is Sharia Advisory Council of Bank Negara Malaysia. For Thailand, they has Islamic Bank of Thailand Act 2545, Section 32, Advisory Board of the Islamic Bank of Thailand and the Bank of Thailand notification. Continue to the accounting standards used by Malaysia is the IASB, which is International Accounting Standard Board. For Thailand, International Accounting Standards IAS and also International Financial Reporting Standards IFRS. And lastly, for the money and capital market, Malaysia has 5 organizations which are International Accounting Standard Board IASB, second, Islamic Interbank Money Market IIMM, third, Labuan International Financial Exchange LFX, fourth, Bursa Malaysia, which is the Sharia Compliant Stock Exchange, and also Bursa Suk Al-Sila BSES. And for Thailand, they have Stock Exchange of Thailand, SET, and the FTSE Group. Implementing and practicing Islamic financial system and regulatory framework in your countries may be difficult due to various reasons and factors. The challenges may be faced by parties like governments and also IFI. Let's take a look at challenges and problems faced by Malaysia and Thailand in developing regulatory framework for IFI. First is Malaysia. The first challenge is constraints of human capital. We all know there is a shortage in the specialized professionals who have high knowledge and skills in the field of Islamic finance. IFI have difficulties, especially in developing new Sharia compliant products because it needs to pass by the test required by Sharia Advisory Board. The existing Sharia scholars need to sharpen their skills and knowledge. Second challenge is standardization and harmonization. This is crucial to prevent both Muslims and non-Muslims to have bad impressions on Islamic financial system. Islamic law has different interpretations as people have different needs and wants, especially maslahah. This can be seen in a situation where for certain products, it is only be accepted for some jurisdictions. IFI needs to practice standardization and harmonization in banking services to prevent legal uncertainty and to reduce the possibility of having non-Sharia compliant products. That is why Malaysia adopted IFSB for a standardization. We have now yet to look at challenges faced by IFI in Thailand. So let's move on to the first challenge, which is human resource. Since Islamic finance is considered a new concept in Thailand financial system, they do not have any institutions that could offer education for this area. There is a need to educate both public and policymakers pertaining to the Islamic principles. Central Bank of Thailand BOT have no special division in handling matters concerning Islamic banking. They have limited number of human resources, especially Muslim staff, to handle the products and services. Next challenge is business planning and product innovation. Islamic finance in Thailand is a new development, and so they have to compete with conventional finance, especially in promoting Sharia compliant products. Islamic banks must have a thorough product development in order to provide them with Sharia-based products. Lastly is the rules and regulations. Regulations for Islamic banks in Thailand needs to have a sound and reliable banking system. The legal rulings must consist of protection for both Islamic banks and the consumers. Islamic banks in Thailand are regulated by Islamic Bank of Thailand Act 2002, which is under jurisdiction of Ministry of Finance. This is a challenge for IFIs because some clauses comprises an obstacle to financial liberalization. It is recommended for Islamic Windows Bank to be regulated under Islamic Bank of Thailand Act 2002. So this is what I have gathered from my research regarding the Islamic financial system in Malaysia and also Thailand. Hope this video will be useful for you. Thank you for watching.